Could have been in Lamont.
Because Sarah had to start doing them the other night.
Did a couple, yeah. I have a bunch of calls. Michelle gets a bunch of calls. I have 7 this morning for Michelle to call. But one little lady, I had my taxes done last Wednesday. Have you e-filed them yet? We don't have time to answer every little thing. But they worry about them. Okay, folks. I don't know if we're going to be able to work in a midterm or not. If we don't, it's okay. If not, it's okay. We'll just use what test we have. Taxes, you'll have your midterm and only test on this Thursday coming. So, anyway, Chapter 6, Process Costing, and Chapter, 4? Did you have job order costing on the last test you did, didn't you?
Yes. There's chapters 3 and 4.
Okay. Did I give you... Need to run and grab a pen. Faith hasn't made it yet, he might. What homework problems did I give you guys?
I don't know. I know I did 46. I forgot that the ones that I did.
I thought some of you had. I gave them to you again, a second time around to have them. Is that Chapter 6, 46?
Yeah, I forgot that I did chapter 5.
Yeah, you did the activity chapter. Okay, Alexander, have you got those down?
So I had time to do one this morning. The bonus
Good.
problem.
Which one'd you do?
The bonus problem.
You did all that bonus problem?
Yes. Because I figured it covered a little bit of everything.
Yeah, what problem was it?
46.
All right.
Because I figured it covered a little bit of everything in the other problem.
Basically, what we went over in this chapter is we went over equivalent units. We went over equivalent units by the weighted average method, and we went over it by the FIFO method. There's only 2. And basically, that leads up to doing a production summary. Now, production summary, I don't even know if it's a chapter. I didn't see it in the PowerPoint. Look at page 203. At page 203 or 204. Now, if you look at this production summary, what they're doing here, I suppose, first, what did they calculate equivalent units? All right, where are equivalent units? I can't even see them. Candle started, total to account for, beginning, started and completed, candles completed, ending work or process inventory, candles accounted for. What are the equivalent units? You see them, Jessica?
I think I see them at the bottom of 203.
Well, wait a minute, is that 400? Is that 411? Yeah, okay, it's 411 4 and 410, 120. Alright, that's part one of a production summary is equivalent units. Now you don't have to put this in units accounted for and units to be accounted for unless you want to. Now the second part of production summary, part two, is cost per unit. Cost per unit, which is 289 and 159 and 130. Well, how do you get cost per unit? You take total cost, don't you? Divided by your equivalent units. That's why you have to have your equivalent. If you miss equivalent units, you miss it all. That's why we worked on it. Now part three is cost to be accounted for. Now if you look up there, what is the total cost? Total cost is 1,187,542, right? We got that money. We got it somewhere in inventory, or we've got it transferred out. We got to show where it went, and that's part three. Part three here, we transferred out 406,000 units times 289. That's the total. All right. Any work in process materials. Remember, that's only $1.59 per equivalent unit. And conversion cost is only $1.30 per equivalent unit. That's 80% of 5,400. And 100% of 5,400 for materials. Now you already had those calculated too up there in part one. You had those equivalent units accounted for. Okay, so we got to lead up and do a production summary. We have not done one yet. Now Jessica says
That's
problem
what 46 is.
46 has it all.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at 46.
For the most part.
But now if we have it covered, or if you want to work, I would advise you to do problem 32, FIFO cost assignment. Problem 34, that's both methods. I would advise you to do problem 36 and 38, two departments. Now we may get back to those. Now we're not doing anything yet on standards. In fact, I don't think this may not even be a good time to cover standard costing. Let me look where the appendix is. Spoilage we looked at. Alternative calculation. All right, we're not going to worry about standard cost. We're not worried about alternative methods. But now we will have to look at a problem loss. We will have to look at problem 48 sometime or another. Not 48, sorry, 43. We need to look at problem 45. There's no way we could have a test this week or next week, so you've only got one test for your midterm. Now this year, I don't know if I like it or not, but we got to give midterm for everybody. If you got an A, B, C, D, or F, you get a midterm. Seth, do you remember doing a return for a Vicky Homemaker?
Not right off the bat, I can look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up later. But it's got to be Lamont or Clayton or Taylor. I don't think Sarah did it. She did. All right, now we're going to look at a solution for problem 46. Was it 46? Wait a minute. What problem did you do to comprehensive, Jessica?
46.
46? That don't,
mean,
huh?
This is what it had me do. That's what it looked like.
It's not, 46 is not comprehensive, dear.
No.
Does anybody else remember what the comprehensive problem is I gave you?
I don't think you gave me one.
I thought I gave you a comprehensive problem for, a bonus.
No, 46 was the bonus.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I screwed up. I want you to do number 60 for the bonus also.
Number 60.
Yeah.
Those for chapter 5 or 6.
This is 6. Don't do 5, I did 5.
6. We got a lot to do on chapter 6, evidently. But I don't remember giving you, did I give you a chapter 5 bonus problem? Or no, chapter 5 we didn't do. Okay. All right,
So it's going to be.
Jessica, for sake of confusion, we're going to do problem 46, and then we're going back, and I'm going to give you 60 as a comprehensive.
Okay.
Then I'll back up and make some other assignments.
Okay.
All right. We'll get it straight someday. Robert, I hope you don't get confused when you watch this video. All right. I had to go into Moodle to find this thing, since I forgot my Jiffy drive.
So we're 46 and 60 bonus.
No, I'm gonna count 60 as a bonus.
So
We're
46
gonna
is-
work 46 because Jessica thought it was a bonus.
Well, that's what you had wrote down.
Okay.
We
On
gotta find
chapter
that
5, 46 is comprehensive.
But we didn't ever do chapter 5. I thought chapter 6 was chapter
I think that's where I messed up, say.
Did you assign page 180 at one point?
Probably, that's probably why I did chapter 5.
Yeah, I think you said like page 180 a couple lectures ago.
I may have messed up myself.
That's probably why I did
I
chapter
messed up.
5.
And that's why you got 46. And that may be why you did chapter 5. Wait a minute, we did chapter 5. That's job order. We did not.
I don't know.
Jessica, we did not skip chapter 5.
Well, you just said that we.
Which
skipped
one did we
chapter
skip?
I do.
Gosh.
Chapter 4.
We did not skip. We skipped chapter 4. Now we're straight. We skipped
Okay.
chapter 4.
5. So it was, the first test was 2 and 3.
Yes.
We skipped.
We skipped 4. We have done
Okay.
job order. You did have a bonus on job order, which was number what?
Job order.
Probably 46.
46, yeah.
Well, I have all of that down then.
Okay. Now 60 is your bonus for this chapter.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to do some other things to lead up to 60. We're not going to do 60 right away. Now 60 has some spoilage in it. And we haven't went over spoilage.
46 does too. It has normal and abnormal.
Yeah, we'll get up to that one. Yeah, you got me mixed up, Jessica, because you were saying chapter 5 was activity based, but that was chapter 4. And I didn't think I made that bad a call on the bonus problem on chapter 5. Oh well, I make mistakes, at least one a semester. And I hear you all made a lot of mistakes on IMO test the other day. So, did anybody feel good about it?
I felt good that it was over.
Well, I'm sure you did. All right, today we're not going to deal with weighted average and FIFO. I'm hoping you got that. Now, let's go down and look at 2 or 3 problems to help you. Now, when we calculate equivalent units, the next thing we should be doing is calculating cost per unit. So let's go to problem 28. Problem 28. Now, if we were doing weighted average on this one, the company had 400 boards in process that were 70% complete as to materials and 85% complete as to conversion. During the month, 3,800 additional boards were started, and 300 boards were still in process. 40% completed as to materials and 60 as to labor. Now at the end of the month, cost information is materials conversion, current materials conversion. Calculate the equivalent units of production for each cost component using the weighted average. Now, if we use that weighted average, I hope you remember,
28, chapter 6.
yeah, number 28. All right. Now, what was your beginning inventory? How many did you have beginning?
43, 49.
No. Boards. Do you have 400? How many boards, please?
Yes, 400 that were 70%.
All right.
complete.
How many did you have in ending inventory?
300?
300. Now, the weighted average, what's my middle part here? Do I have completed, started and completed? Do I have transferred out? What do I put in the middle for weighted average?
You have started,
What?
3,800.
No.
That's what I was gonna say.
No.
You need to find transfers out.
Good. Now, we got something transferred out.
I thought you were asking what the problem gave.
Okay.
for
Now, how many did we start?
3,800.
But did we transfer out 3,800? How many of that 3,800 do we have left?
300.
So how many did we start and complete of that 3,800?
35.
Now we also completed these 400, so transferred out would be how many?
39.
How many? 37? Now, on the weighted average, do I worry about percents up here on beginning inventory? We don't even recognize it, do we? So here we are with ending inventory. What percent is it complete?
It says 40% complete as to material and 60% complete as to conversion.
I'm going to put materials up here. So on this one, I'm going to put 3,700 materials and 120 ending. I'm going to give you an answer of 3,820. Does that look right? That's on materials. Now on conversion costs, I'm going to give you 3,700. And what percent were they completed for conversion?
60.
All right, I'm going to give you 3,700 for conversion. And I'm going to give you 3 times 6 is 180. Here's the answer I'm going to give you, 3,880. All right, keep those in mind. Let me check them real quick. This is exercise what, 28?
28.
26?
28.
28. The only thing I want right now is equivalent units. So here's units to be accounted for.
I think we got transfers out wrong. It's 3,900.
I don't know how we could have done that. We'll see.
Because 35 plus 4 is 39. That's what I tried to say. You said 37, so I thought I did
I
something
agree.
wrong.
Okay, now let's back up. You said they started 3,500. What did they say?
They started 38.
Oh, well, that's the difference then. So out of that 38, we have how many left?
300.
We transferred out how many?
39.
35. Plus 4.
It's 39.
Yes.
See, I said 39 and then you said no 37. So
Well,
I
that's
thought
what
I
I
did
was
something
zeroed in
wrong.
on 3,500 started.
So that's why I thought I did something wrong.
No, you didn't. Okay, we'll get straight. All right. So if I add 2 more hundred to each one of these, that'd be 40,020, and this would be 40,080. Does that make it correct?
I think so.
All right. Remember, units started were how many? 38, not 35. Now, 300 of them's left in it. See, you may have given me this number as started, but that's how many we transferred out of those started. Then we transferred out to 400. All right, so now we know here. Now, find me unit cost. Find me unit cost for materials. Take your calculators and a big sheet of paper, the same problem, and find me your, well, Safe, your side, find me unit cost for materials. William, your side, find me the unit cost for CC. What'd y'all get for materials? Right side. What'd you get for conversion cost? The left side.
You gave them materials.
What'd y'all get for materials? The left side.
Not sure.
What'd y'all get for CC?
97 cents.
All right, and we got the right equivalent units, as you can see. But I just want unit cost. They only gave you 2 things for materials, add them and divide. They only gave you 2 things for CC, add them and divide. And nobody got 1620, and nobody got 1260. Right?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I see how he got that. I didn't. I
Well,
had this down
add your
here.
cost and
Yeah.
divide by your equivalent units. Now that is part 2 of that production summary. We definitely need to practice. The total cost is add those 2 together. I don't have time to practice that with FIFO, which is number 29. We're not going to take time to practice it. All right, now I want you to look at number 32. Now it says, what is the cost of the beginning inventory transferred out? Now, beginning inventory is 80% complete as to materials. This is the FIFO method. And 45% complete as to labor and overhead. Okay? But we do have Okay, first find me the equivalent units. The left side, that's safe for materials. And the right side, find me the equivalent units for conversion cost.
What number is this one?
Number 32.
So which percent would we use for conversion costs for 30?
All right, now let's see what they've got here first.
It gives us direct materials, direct
It
labor.
gives you the unit cost, don't it? 1074 and 1388, is that right? Okay, it gives you the beginning inventory cost of 458, right? And it gives you units and ending inventory and how much complete. Now the question is, what is the cost of beginning inventory transferred out in October? Now we got to know how many units were transferred out equivalent. Now, for materials,
I just want to know which percentage conversion cost uses.
wait a minute, I tell you, I want you to take the 1074, right?
Yeah.
I want you to do materials. Now, if we go up there and look at beginning materials, this is FIFO.
They're doing material.
They're 80% complete as to materials. All right, now what is your beginning inventory, Jessica? What's your beginning inventory? I see the dollars. 42,600. Jessica, take 80% of that. You and William.
I thought they were doing materials.
They haven't started on it yet, so y'all do it. I got confused. All right, Saith, you and Alexander, 42,600. Jessica, you all will take, I think you will take 20%.
Yeah, because you have to.
And you all will take 55%, say. So try that. We'll look at this. And keep in mind, they've already got cost per unit done for you. They've got equivalent units done for you, number one. They've got cost per unit, number two. And we're just finding the cost to be accounted for, number three. Hey, Jessica, did you and William get a cost on all right, Jessica and William? I told y'all to take 20% of equivalent units. Is that correct? You see 20% of 42.6? Is that what you did? And then multiply it by the unit cost, which I showed you in the book. Did anybody get near 91,504? 80. You should have. Okay, now say I gave you all 42.6 times 55%. I showed you the 1388 in the book. Did you get 325,2084?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're on the right target. Now overhead, man, did they give you a different percent for overhead? I didn't
Yeah.
see it. So you had three equivalent units. So 70% of 42.6 times 2480. So your total cost of beginning inventory transferred is 1,614,000. But that's just beginning. Now it says, what is the total cost transferred out? All right, first off, I want you to add those three together. Add materials, labor, and overhead together. How much does 1074, 1388, and 2480 give you? Add those three together. All right, 32 something. Now, how many units did we transfer out? It don't necessarily clearly. Well, how many units did we transfer out?
What did you get?
32.3.
The 1070?
How many units transferred out?
Let me read that.
I got 4942.
Units transferred out?
Oh no, for the question he answered, I got 4942.
Yeah, that's right, actually. My bad.
Well, that's okay. That don't sound right. That sounds really low. The beginning inventory had that much. How many did we transfer out? Okay. We're gonna take that total amount that I think Seth's rattled off. And let's look at B part, okay? Now, Seth, when you added those up, it didn't sound like you said 4942, did you?
Oh, no, that's, Jessica got that one, that was right.
49, did you add it up and get 49? Now, what do we multiply that by? Units transferred out. Total cost of beginning transfer. We did that right there, right? Now here is transferred out, gives you total cost of goods transferred. Well, where did this come from? Where did this 15724 come from? They give it to you?
Goods started and completed.
Okay, we did begin inventory, started and completed. That's right, that only needs finished. And they gave you that dollar amount. I mean, that,
You had to figure it out. It's the 1570 minus 42.6.
1570, right, 1,570,000 minus the 42.6 in beginning inventory
Gives you the starting.
will give you then started and completed. Under the FIFO method, it is started and, I call it started and finished, same thing. Okay. Now, that's part 3 of a production report. Part 3. Equipment units first, unit cost second, cost to be accounted for. It's not a hard process, but I don't get you confused. Not a hard process. Okay. I'm not worried about first and second departments yet. We can look at it though. Go ahead and read number 35. Let's see if 2 departments gets complicated. Number 35. All right, we're looking at number 55. All number what? 35. Yeah. All materials, I'm not seeing good today, introduced at the end of the process in the casting department. Work in process inventory contained 4,000 units that were 80% cost complete as to conversion. 25,000 units were transferred out. All right, August, finished goods, of course. Complete the total cost that should be assigned to the August 31st work in process. That'd be your ending inventory, wouldn't it? Your work in process is your ending inventory? I hope. Alright. Transferred in costs $10, materials is $2, conversion cost is $6. Compute the total cost that should be assigned to the ending inventory. Alright. How many units were? Can anybody answer that right away without doing any adding or subtracting? You should. Now let's see. You add work in process inventory containing 4,000 units that were 80% complete. Now what is 80% of 4,000?
I mean, 20%.
How much? Now you've got to use the whole 80%, not 20. This is ending inventory. What is 80% of 4,000? 30.
3,200.
Now multiply 3,200 times $6. That's conversion cost. And how many units, all materials, are added at the end of the process? Now, have we added any materials yet to that work in process? All right, Jessica, we haven't. Why?
Because all of them are introduced at the end.
All right, no materials then. Let's see what we got here. Gotta be careful how you read these things. I'm guilty of not reading them straight. Ending work in process inventory. We wanted $3,200 times 6, 1920, right? As far as I'm concerned, that was my answer. That's what they asked for. But now, if we wanted the 4,000 transferred out, all right, where did the 10 come from? 6 plus 2 plus what? Materials is 2, conversion is 6.
It just gave you transferred in.
Oh,
as
okay.
10.
All right, so what we transferred in cost us 40,000, right? Materials, how come we added 0 all the way?
Because they're not introduced till.
They're not finished, are they? Not finished. Not finished. No material. All right. 0 for materials, transferred in, and this is what we calculate. Okay, so be careful how it's worded. We may have answered all the questions, I don't know, we may not. No, there's B, transferred out, 25,000 units times 10 plus 2 plus 6. That's 18. All right, finished goods, 450,000. Where did that come from? B is easy to see. Okay, yeah. And you put it in finished goods and your credit work in process. That's where it came from. Right there. Oh boy. Fuzzy math today. Okay. That was with 2 departments. A second department, we took the cost transferred in. Now I want to look at least one on spoilage. And I'm not worried about standard costing, but I want to look at let's look at a normal loss on page 231, number 43. Now, I just want to look this normal loss with you, beginning 60% complete. Now, we're still on FIFO. Beginning inventory counts. And you got started during June and we got ended. Give me a real quick calculation. Tell me how many we started and finished. How many did we start and finish?
$8,000?
How much?
8,000?
Well, no, we got started
Oh,
360,000.
sorry.
Yeah, 43. We started 360,000.
352,000?
That'd be 342 or 344. Try 344, will you?
I thought it was starting minus ending is starting and completed.
Started minus beginning. Now, let's look at that in a different fashion. Let me bring the old notepad back up here to see where all these units don't want that. Okay. Now, how many units do we have in beginning inventory? How many?
16,000.
How many units did we start?
360,000.
All right, I may have made a mistake there too, William. All right, we got to account for
376.
right. Now, we got to find transferred out. How many units are in ending inventory?
8,000.
How many?
8,000.
So how many did we transfer out?
368.
How many?
368.
We transferred out 368, and those together make 376, don't they? So this is your units to account for, and this is how we account for it. Now, if we transferred out 368, how many of those were from beginning inventory? 16? So I think I made a mistake too. So we started and finished, how many?
352.
3 what?
352. That's what I got.
I think William was right a minute ago. I was wrong. Okay, 352. As long as you can get that started and finished, you're in pretty good shape. Okay, now the question. How many gallons were transferred out? Well, we answered that question, didn't we? How many was transferred out?
372.
Was 368? TO. I've got TO.
Transferred out 368, yeah.
Alright. Alright, then it says, what are the FIFO equivalent units of production for materials? Alright. How many do you have beginning inventory? What is 40% of 16,000 gallons? Alright, here's what I'm going to do. My transferred out is this much, 368, right? Times 1. My beginning inventory,
It's 16,000 times
16,000 times what?
40%.
That means there was 60% already complete?
Yeah.
That's correct, Jessica.
That's 6,400.
And my ending inventory? Is it
8,000 at 40%.
materials? Now remember, this only gives us materials, don't it? Alright, what'd you say that was, Jessica? 40% of 16?
64.
And And then 100% of 368. And what's 40% of 8?
32.
And when you add them together, you get? Add the 3.
377 cents.
377 what?
6.
Alright. Now do that same thing for conversion cost. Everybody take a minute and do it for conversion cost. It's easy if I don't confuse you. Have you got that one yet? What you got?
374.4.
Anybody match Jessica? Alright. So then we will. Okay. Did we do it or not? Well, what number was it? 40?
43.
We had 358A? Do we have 358A? We missed it somewhere. Did we have 355? No. Gallon started and finished. How we missed that so bad? 16 times what percent? 40. We're okay on 64. And 16 times what? 40?
30.
What?
30.
30? We're okay on 48.
We only used started. We didn't do started and completed.
All right, now the ended inventory. We did okay, right?
Yeah.
30, 40%, 20%.
Yeah.
Why did we screw up right here?
We only used started. We didn't use started and completed.
Well, I wanted. We did, didn't we? And I gave you transferred out, which was weighted average.
Yep.
We were doing FIFO. Oh boy. I'm more tired than you are, Jessica. Well, do you see the difference then? Started and finished. Put it in that formula and make sure you get started and finished. We're going to have to jot that down. So we screwed up here big time. Right here is where we screwed up. And transferred out. Started and finished. Now, how many did we start?
360.
Now, that's what I was asking William the first time, and I was subtracting 16. What is 360 minus 16?
344.
Is that correct?
No, you need to subtract the ending. So
No,
minus
started and finished.
starting minus ending inventory.
That's right. That's right too. There should be two ways to do it.
It's 352.
All right. We started how many then?
There's six.
36.
And we finished. I mean, ending inventory has 8, and that gives us start and finish what?
352.
That was easy. We shouldn't have missed that. William said that 2 or 3 times. I don't know what we did to it. But anyway, that'll work. All right. Normal loss, so there was nothing there to bother us. Let's see what an abnormal loss is on number 45 before we call it a day. An abnormal loss. How many total units are there to account for? Add something together for me real quick on number 45. What have you got? Let's don't miss this one. 140. How can you go wrong on that? How many units were spoiled during process? How do we know? We're going to find out. Completed 116.4. And out of that 116.4, 20,000 of them were in beginning inventory. So let me bring this solution up on number 44 to try to show you where they get those 4 units. All right, let's look at it here. Let me blow it up a little bit. Whew. Maybe a little too much. It's either too much or too little, but here we go. Beginning units. Wait a minute. Did it say 36 beginning? I read it. I thought.
45, I think we're
Yeah,
on.
you're on 44.
Oh, it's 45.
No.
I thought, well, we're off again. Here we go. Whew. I don't know, what was the A part up there? 140,000 units? 140. Now B part. Units to account for, 140. Units completed, 116. Units in the inventory, 16. So we lost 7,600 units. Do you see how we lost the 7,600 units? We had 140 to account for. Now, how many of those were completed? Subtract 116.4 from 140. What have you got? Is that 23.6 or something like that?
23 cents.
23 what?
23 cents.
Now subtract ending inventory of 16. What'd you get? All right, 76, same as here. Just looked at it a different way. So we lost 7,600 units. The normal loss is 3%, it's 3,600 units. So the abnormal loss is 3,600 from 76 is 4,000. All right, abnormal loss. And then we have to calculate. Normal spoilage is considered contingent because it's just a shrinkage. So we'll go on with units to account for, units accounting for, normal spoilage, abnormal spoilage. We need to work on that just a little bit more. Using the method of neglect, the cost of normal spoilage is automatically spread above all the other units. Cost of normal spoilage is written off as a period cost or a loss. If you work this out, it will be built in. Alright, let me get the assignment straight this time. Which one is a comprehensive problem in this chapter?
60.
Number 60, right? Alright, I want you to do a complete production summary, the way it shows us in the book. And we're going to turn over to the problems on page 233. Now, I'm going to give you two problems. Number 50. And number 54. That's it. And 60. Wait a minute, did I?
Bonus 60.
Comprehensive problem, 60 is a bonus. Alright, I've got those problems straight. Those are two production reports you're going to be working.
50, 51, 60.
Yeah. And we'll look at those plus some journal entries, and that'll be the chapter, okay? It's not a bad chapter. Alright, so we are dismissing for today.